actually will give a product that consistently meet the intended results and meet the product specification. In this stage, in stage 2, the process qualification, we will evaluate, we will assess, we will confirm and demonstrate that the process is capable within this established variation to give a product that consistently meets the predetermined specification. And the process qualification stage are actually divided into stage 2. One, where the design of facility and qualification, utilities and equipment are checked. So in this stage, we check the construction material, operating principles, performance characteristic, that those are appropriate for the manufacturing process, and that system and equipment are built and installed as per design specification and operate per process requirement across operating ranges. If we have a confidence that facilities, equipments, systems, and utilities are performing as intended, so we can go for the next stage, stage 2.2, which is the process performance qualification, the PPQ batches. The most important evaluation to ensure that within all these set of arrangement, the product will consistently meet the specification. So it combined the qualified facility, utility, equipment, and trained personnel with the commercial manufacturing process control procedures and component to produce the commercial batch. And it confirms that process design, demonstrate commercial process will perform as expected. In stage 2.1, which is relevant to the equipment qualification, regulatory expectation that the manufacturing facility, system, utility, equipment should be qualified with relevance to the critical quality attributes. So we will not qualify all the process parameters with the same level of formality and with the same level of depth in the monitoring system. No, more emphasis will put for the parameters, those relevant to the critical quality attributes and critical process parameter, and based on quality risk management principles. So the facility, system, utilities, and equipment should be designed, constructed, and qualified to be suitable for the intended use. And based on the conducted risk assessment, user requirement specification should be established and should be formulated, having all the requirement to satisfy and control and mitigate identified risks. And then we go for the design specification and functional design specification, where all the design features are clearly described to ensure that risks have been addressed and controls have been included, and that all the requirements mentioned in the user requirement specification are actually considered within the design. And then we have the design qualification stage or design verification. And then we have the factory acceptance test to test and challenge and check that all functionality is conducted as per design and as per established in the URS. And then we have the commissioning to put the machine or the system in its first use and site, repeating the verification in the site acceptance test. And finally, installation qualification and perform and operation qualification to demonstrate that the system, facility, utility work as intended and suitable for the intended purpose. We should document all these steps, URS, DS, FDS, and it's a team approach. So you may involve a subject matter expert. Quality unit should be involved for approving and accepting and releasing the system. And you should assess the normal operating range, the normal variability that will happen during operation of your system to consider it in the subsequent sampling plans. And after verification of the equipment and facility qualification, you can start the process performance qualification batches. So we have confirmed that the design process is capable, reproducible, and a state of control within commercial manufacturing conditions. So successful PPQ batches confirm that what was designed and demonstrate that the commercial manufacturing process is performing as expected. And before any batch from the process is commercially distributed or used by the consumer, the manufacturer should have gained a high degree of assurance in the performance of the manufacturing process. Batches manufactured during this stage may be released for commercial distribution after successful completion of the process performance qualification batches. And the manufacturer should judge whether it has gained sufficient understanding and knowledge to provide high degree of assurance in its process to justify the commercial distribution. It's very important to have a comprehensive and heightened sampling and testing plan during this stage because of the number of the batches still limited and the knowledge about the commercial manufacturing process is yet limited. And so intensive sampling can help in growing this knowledge about the process performance and establish the subsequent level of monitoring in routine manufacturing. A very important aspect to be determined is how many batches should be involved in the PPQ step. So guidance doesn't specify how many batches to include in stage 2. 3 is no more a magic number. The number of batches should be determined based on science and based on risk. There are some statistical methods that could be used for determination of the batches, although it has some limitations. But using risk assessment to determine the appropriate number of PPQ batches based on the current understanding of the process and current knowledge of the process and the impact of variation on the final product quality is a very good approach to determine the needed number of process performance qualification batches. It should be data-driven. Bracketing and matrixing could apply. For example, if we have a different product strengths, and those different product strengths are produced from the same and the common bulk, so we could apply bracketing and matrixing by qualifying the bulk for 3 consecutive batches, and the filling activity is the only covering 3 different batches from each strength. It also applies on similar equipment train. So in this stage, you can implement bracketing and matrixing, and you should justify the selected number of batches and the selected sample size. So for sampling, also it needs to be determined and it needs to be designed based on science, based on data, based on the sources and pattern of variability. As long as the sample should be representative, so the population characteristics are very important. If we have a uniform distribution of the bulk, so fewer samples will be sufficient to detect the bulk characteristic. But if we have a non-uniform distribution, So we need to increase the number and the quantity of the sample so that it represents the population. It's very important while we are designing our sampling plan is to determine what is the purpose of each sample. If we want to use it to conclude process capability, controllability, or reproducibility, if this sample will be used to get a conclusion about the intervariation from batch to batch or within the same batch variation. Samples must be large enough to conclude statistical capability. The more we have knowledge of the process, the less we need samples and vice versa. So it's greatly influenced by process knowledge. It's greatly influenced by similar product or process performance because this increased the knowledge about the process performance, and it's greatly influenced by the statistical method and metrics need to be implemented. Proper sampling method, while random and systematic, should be determined. For example, during process validation, manufacturer tends, along the time of processing, to select and perform sampling at the start, at the mid, and at the end of the batch. It depends on the process performance. If we are sampling a homogeneous product, random sampling will be enough. If the process is like the lyophilization process where different variation sources may result in a non-uniform pattern, like a non-uniform temperature distribution or variation in temperature distribution within the lyophilizer, then we need to go for geometric or risk-based sampling. And allow application for statistical sampling theory to result and generalize and test the hypothesis. So samples are actually used not just to conclude the results of the tested unit. It gives an inference on the rest of the batch. So we shall ensure that they are representative and they are adequately specified. Specified with number, with quantity, with the sampling condition, the sampling transport to the testing center, and so on. After defining the sample, the acceptance criteria for the process performance qualification should also be defined. And as a rule of thumb, a minimum of 3 consecutive batches meeting specification for all critical quality attribute and critical process parameters meeting acceptance criteria is the minimum requirement for a successful PPQ. And it depends on the manufacturer risk assessment. So maybe 3 will not be sufficient according to the process understanding and according to the variation, but as a minimum 3 consecutive batch. This is not the only acceptance criteria. Manufacturer should be proactive and have a predetermined action in case of failures. In case of failure of one of the critical quality attribute or one of the critical process parameter, the run and the batch may be concluded as unsuccessful, but assessment of any non-critical process parameter and in-process control that failed to meet the pre-established parameter ranges with a confirmation that no impact to the performance of the unit